Today's message is from Archangel Raphael, and he's talking about broken hearts. This is a human expression for the loss of love. It is not a loss of divine love, rather than an emotion associated with grief over a loss. You may have lost a loved one who has departed from this earthly life. You may have felt betrayed by another, and this is associated with loss. Some experience feeling broken-hearted over the loss of a home or some treasured object. There are many such reasons for painful feelings. Another is you may feel broken-hearted as a child when you were abandoned, or nobody was there for you when you needed it. Inside, there may be a deep grief which can become anger if you feel the situation could have been averted, or anger at yourself for not seeing clearly over some life aspect. You may even imagine that God has abandoned you. No matter what the cause, there is no point in pushing away the pain, because this will only cause it to grow, or at least be resistant to leaving, perhaps for many years. You do know, dear ones, to stop and allow the suffering while witnessing it, and then feeling deep, compassionate love for the human self. There has to be an awareness of responsibility for your feelings. No one else causes them, although the ego is always intent on blame. Forgiveness heals suffering, as does understanding the cause behind whatever's happened to you. Forgive yourself for your part and forgive the other. No one hurts another unless there is suffering inside. When you understand that there is nothing to forgive, that there is only a call for love, you are freed from all sorrow. Sometimes a painful situation is created because you have something to heal from a past incarnation. This is why blame will not release you. Stay in your heart and remember that this too shall pass, as long as you do not hang on to it. Your heart is the seat of the divine and the most important source of wisdom. The brain in your heart instructs the brain in your head. With that understanding, decide to instruct your brain to be love, to reveal all, and to feel the oneness with all beings. For that is how our loving Mother, Father, God created us. You are not broken. You are whole and more beautiful beyond your comprehension. So love and honor yourself and seek your innate wisdom in any adverse situation. Dear ones, I am known as Raphael the Healer, and I am always here for you. So ends that message. It's a deep one for us all. It's interesting that Raphael is associated with the color green, and the heart chakra is associated with green color. It's interesting to look back in your life at where you've cast blame and haven't shifted it out. You've just moved on, but that doesn't solve anything. I remember having a very lonely childhood, in that although I lived in the same house as my mother, she was emotionally never there for me. In fact, as little children, we'd be locked outside the door all day so we couldn't disturb her. And the neighbours would take us off the back doorstep. I didn't deal with that, didn't know about that sort of thing then. But after she died, I discovered in her papers that her mother had put her in an orphanage when she got a new man in her life. She didn't want children disturbing her life. And that was a huge healing for me. I realized what my mother suffered was much, much worse than what I did. At least she didn't put me in an orphanage. So it's probably a good idea to find these things early in life and release them. Now I have nothing but loving compassion for my mother. And by the way, I really loved that grandmother. She was wonderful with us. So these things will be present to some degree or not in all of us from our childhood. So this teaching from Raphael can heal the deepest things. All right, enough from me. Thank you all for listening. Much love. Until the next time.